Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks for joining me again on my channel for another layout process video. This is for the Hip Kit Club and it's my very first layout of the month using the 2015 June kits. And let me just tell you, these kits are gorgeous. It was very difficult for me to sift through all of the products and just pick a couple things to work with for my first page because I wanted to use all of it. As you can see there, the colors are just so pretty. These deep pinks, oranges, yellows, navy blues. Oh my goodness, so pretty. So I picked some pool pictures. I have a lot of pool pictures because they just seem to go with so many things that we get in the hip kits. And in the color kit, there's this adorable Chamel sunburst stamp. We get two Avery L ink pads there, a really pretty yellow and a really pretty reddish pink color. And you know me, I like to do the mixed media messy stuff. So right off the bat, I go for the ink pads and the stamps. And I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do, where I'm going to put my pictures, but I just want to have some fun and experiment with the background. So I take a sheet of the white cardstock that comes in the cardstock kit, and I'm just using the ink pads to do some stamping. And I have to try everything with the packaging technique, so I'm going to give these ink pads, even though they're pigment ink pads, I'm still going to try this technique just to see what I can come up with. And I know if I mix those two colors together, I'm going to get some orange tones, which is cool because there's some orange in the kits. Not a whole lot, but there are orange hints here and there. And there is some beautiful orange cardstock. And I do use some of that on this layout. So this ink, I would say it's probably not the greatest for doing the packaging technique because it's really meant for stamping and things of that nature, but I still got some good effects from doing this right here. It's still, you know, when you spray water on it, it gets watered down and you can still smush it around. Here I tried to use it as a stamp. I stamped the two rectangular pads down and then kind of mixed them together and thought, well, I'll just see what I can come up with. And as you can see, it kind of made a little bit of texture there. Not the whole idea that I was going for, but at this point I'm just kind of experimenting and seeing what I can come up with. And you still get a splotchy look, you still get a messy, cool looking texture background there, so not all is lost. So I mean, I would definitely try this again with these kinds of inks. But they did work really well with the stamp. So, and I'm going to cover a lot of that up based on just the nature of how I'm going to, you know, situate my photos and my papers and things. So anyway, I'll leave the background alone for a little bit, and I'm going to come in with one of those chipboard frames. There's some of that orange paper. It's so bright in person. That picture frame is from the Poolside collection from American Crafts, and there's a lot of Fancy Pants. That's some of the Fancy Pants paper right there, and it's such a cool, it's pattern paper, but there's this texture to it. It's super neat. I really love just the feel of it. It's just a whole different feel of typical pattern paper. So it's very, very neat. I wanted to use that June Project Life card, but it winds up not making it on this page. And the more I look at it, the more I don't like the pink and the red stripes mixed with those navy and white stripes. It's just too many stripes. So I wind up changing that. But I do use that Fancy Pants tag behind the photo on the right. And I still keep the Poolside frame in there. There are a lot of fun tags in these kits. They already have the string looped through the ends, so that's already done for you. And I want to pull in some more of the navy blue, so I cut off two of the corners from this beautiful blue cardstock that comes in the cardstock kit, and I'm just going to frame the corners there. And I love these colors together. Oh, so pretty. Project Life cards this month are stunning. One of our design team members, Kim Watson, designed them, and they are so pretty. I'm going to do some fussy cutting, and I'm going to cut that sun out because I don't do Project Life. So I cut the sun out, and then I cut that paint splatter out. Well, I just covered it up. You can't see it. Right there. It's kind of orangey pink ombre. Oh, it's so pretty. It says, here's the whole story. That's a Project Live card, but I cut it out because I wanted it to look kind of like a paint splatter. So I flipped over that big piece of striped paper, and I decided to go with the floral side. I like the way it brings in more navy blue and orange color. And then I use a small piece of the stripes underneath my pictures. I layer in another Fancy Pants tag. That tag it's actually one tag, and both sides have string attached, so I just tore it in half so I could use each piece or each end on either side of my cluster here. So it's starting to come together how I want to place everything. So I just start taping it down, even though I haven't taped the entire thing down yet to my background. I didn't want to move all the bits and pieces once I got them organized, because I would probably never remember how I got them that way to begin with. So now I'm going to come back to the background, and I'm going to add in a little bit more more yellow, and I'm just going to do the packaging technique again. Just tap it here and there, and as you can see, it does work. It just doesn't water down as much, I guess you could say, as gelatos or watercolor. It's just a different type of ink, so it's going to do different things, but you never know until you experiment and try with it. It stamps really, really nicely, and the yellow color is just, it's like butter. It's so pretty, and I like the hints of yellow in the background there, so I was very pleased with how it turned out. And I didn't add any gesso or anything like that to the cardstock. I just went for it. Now I'm going to come in with my thread, and I'm going to put in some navy blue tangles underneath the layers there in the left hand corner and the right hand corner. There's going to be a lot of strings hanging off of this page. There's really a lot of things going on in the kits this month. So many things. I don't think I'll ever run out of all the embellishments that came in it. Literally, when I opened them up, my mouth was just hanging open. I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so pretty. You know how when you go to make your first layout and you just don't even know what paper to start with or which embellishments to use, so you like pull it all out, and then it's just awesome. Lots of crepe paper here. So this is a sticker sheet that comes with poolside, and I'm going to pull a sticker from it and use that summer as part of my title. And then there's also the thicker pack that has all of those wonderful, really fun, scripty words that are all summer related. I add some pop dots to that to raise it up a little bit. And I'm just going to go with your typical summer fun title here. Not so original, but I've done so many summer pages, I run out of titles. So sometimes you just have to go with what comes in the kit. It's already made for you, and you don't have to spend hours coming up with a cool title. Some people can just come up with awesome titles all the time. I know Ashley Horton always comes up with the most clever titles, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that. That's the cutest title. And sometimes my titles are so boring, but I just can't, I don't know. Sometimes they come to me and sometimes they don't. And when the words are already there for you in the kit, makes it a lot easier to just pull off a sticker and stick it down, and there you go. Now I'm going to layer in some frames. The striped one on the right is Fancy Pants, and this one here on the left, the yellow and the pink, that is crepe paper. So lots of fun frames to work with this month. Lots of these fun tags. I love that the strings are already attached to them, or the thread, whatever you want to call it, and just makes it even more fun and gives you more texture. And these fun little border pieces are in the Fancy Pants ephemera also, and they're already cut for you. All you have to do is stick them in there. And in the Fancy Pant, not the Fancy Pants, in the crepe paper poolside collection ephemera pack, there are a lot of these fun acetate pieces like that love there. I layer it over the photo. lots of craft elements, and I believe those are fancy pants, like these little tags here that I'm sticking down there. Again, the cord is already attached to them, and they're really long. I trimmed mine up a little bit, but you don't have to worry about putting the cord in. See all the tags there? There's a whole bunch of them. That's all from this month's kits. Wood veneers. Oh, so much, so much. I love it. I can't wait to start my next page already. I love the mix of the craft with the navy and the yellow, the reds, the pinks. It's just such a pretty color combo. More Embellishing wood veneers. I can't get enough of those things. This one says take more photos. And that's the cracked pistachio paint from the March kits. And there is hints of mint color in this layout. I know the camera kind of makes it hard to see the true colors, but it is there. Now I want to pull in some more of this orange. That orange tangerine color is just so pretty. So I just punched a couple of squares out because I wanted some more little hints of it here and there, and I just layer them in so they're not, you know, super bold, but you can see little pops of orange because I did layer the photo on the left with some of that orange cardstock also. And so I wanted a couple of more little pops of orange. So I just pulled out one of my little square punches, and there you go. Another one of the alpha sheets. There are a ton of alpha sheets in all the kits this month, and this is from Elle's Studio. Very pretty aqua turquoisey green color. What's the correct term for that color? I'm not sure, but I'm going to use that to mark my date. And that die cut that says June, it's in the crepe paper ephemera, and it just happened to be those pictures were in June, so it took care of my date for me. Gonna add another little sunshine sticker right there. And then I decided I needed some yellow down here at the bottom left corner. There's really no mixed media or ink there, and I need a little bit of pop of yellow. And then I realized you can't stick this big plastic thing down here without getting it all over the pattern paper because you've already glued it down. So I just use my finger and come in with a little bit there. I didn't want to go overboard, but I did want some hints of yellow there, and so I achieved that pretty well. That sunburst stamp is adorable. I love it. And I thought about using the Chickanetti stamps from last month's kit, but they did not make it onto this page. But they're so versatile. You could probably use them on any layout in the future. And that's what I love about some of the products in these hip kits is they last. You know, you don't run out of a stamp, and it's going to take you forever to run out of ink or you know, embossing powder, anything like that. So that's the fun thing about getting these kits is some of it just lasts you forever. So I stuck the wood veneer down, and now I'm going to come in with some navy blue color shine, and I made a big boo-boo. Of all the places for my drips to drop, one landed right there on my thread. Yeah, there's always got to be a mistake, right? So what do? I try to come in with some gesso, and I'm trying to use it like whiteout. You remember whiteout? Do they still make whiteout? And I don't get rid of it completely, but I added some more yellow on top of it, and there's just a smudge there, and that's just the way it goes whenever your paint splatters in places where you didn't want it. But, you know, sometimes you just don't have control over those things, and it happens, and you have to move on. So it's not that noticeable. So there you go. That's the end product. I love, 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 love the colors in this. Oh, these kits are so pretty. I can't wait to see what you guys make with yours. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gives you some ideas on what you can try with the inks. I hope you use the stamps. I can't wait to see what you guys do. So thank you so much to all my new subscribers and to everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.